Today I'm feeling a bit melancholy. So I have my new job I'm about to start, and it's really an old job. It's when I got one of my old jobs back, and it doesn't pay quite as well as one of my previous jobs, but it pays better than the rest of the jobs that I've tried. And that's kind of the thing. At 42, for myself, I constantly wonder, am I ever going to do better? And what I mean by that is not can I move up in the company? I can if I'm willing to give up my entire life, meaning just, never being able to plan anything out a couple weeks in advance. And probably even then, if what I remember is the case, even then, they can call you up and say, hey, we need you to come in. And it's like, your salary is not enough for me to want to give up my entire life. And that's the sad part is it's like, okay, either I have no life because I can't afford it, or I give it up, but I can afford it later. And someone says, "Well, gee, what happened?" I said, "Well, a lot of the places like concerts and stuff I went to has gone from like in my area, $100, 70 to $100, now to $200 a ticket, and that's for the nosebleeds." And that's kind of a little sad about that. Just feeling a little melancholy, but today's video is having a positive mindset, right? And so it's kind of where are you at right now? Of course, I'm going to go to my old job, and so I did try to escape at one time. It wasn't a bad job. It was trying to figure out what else is out there for me, and I found out there was nothing. So a part of me is a little concerned that I am going to ultimately feel really bad and defeated. But I'm not going to try to do that. No, I've actually built some other things and have some plans in life to elevate, maybe not to where I was in life, because I don't know if I'll ever really get that high. I mean, like I used to own my own house and stuff, and I don't know if I'll ever get that back. But I can, it doesn't stop me from trying, right? But and really, even if I could get my house today, I don't know if I would, because it's like when I bought my house years ago when I was 30, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a family one day and we're going to have a place to live. And, I was thinking of the future. But now it's more like, what future? What family? What am I really planning for? And that's, I'm not trying to have that defeated attitude, right? Because things can change. But by the same token, I'm trying to have a more realistic attitude, right? I mean, we're used to, I would have, 20 years ahead of me. And then I was like, no, in 20 years, I'll be doing nothing but like what most 60-year-olds think about is my retirement. And do I have enough to retire? And if I don't, oh my God, can I fix it? Retire, retire, retire. Retirement to me does not equal future. I don't know of anyone who goes, man, retirement is my future. It's like, no one really thinks that, because either you have enough money and you go and enjoy it, or you have enough money and you go to work still because you got nothing else to do. But it's not really a futured mindset. Like, in 20 years, I'd like to be here. Another, like, in 20 years, I'll probably be, gone and stuff. And I understand that. But, so that's kind of it. So, some of the notes I have here written about my future mindset would be, again, the body, where are you at? Are you in the gym? Which is a good mindset because you're building up to a future that may or may never come to pass. Or you're going to like a bad place like I did today before work, went to the casino and lost $40. Not bad, but still, it's like, you're not really building anything doing that. I think, progress, not perfection, which I think when I was younger, that felt better to say. Now it just feels like, yeah, I guess, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, for dietary reasons, the next 6 months, there's a concert I want to go to. But again, it's $200. But I'm like, if I was going to spend 100, which I was, and that's with fees and all. And hopefully these were with fees and stuff too, but 200. But we'll see. But with fees and all, if I can, let's say, keep dieting and keep losing weight, maybe then I will be able to, trick my mind into saying at least it's something to work for, which is really sad because you're like, well, I'm gonna work 6 months for a concert. That's but that's where I'm at in life, right? I wish I could tell you in 6 months I'm looking to move out and stuff, but that's just not reality anymore. Not for me, and not for many people in the world. I understand. So I'm trying to spend my time reading books and stuff. I just finished the Iliad. That will probably come out next month. I have it scheduled for next month. Reading the Odyssey right now. And I'm going to read a lot of good old books and stuff to kind of build my life. That's the plan anyway. And then, if anything negative comes my way, I'm just trying to get stronger and smarter to the best I can. In the end, no one has make it out of here, alive, and you can have all the money in the world, but then you're going to leave it to somebody else if you can't, because you can't take it with you, right? But I'm just trying to think about at 40, what do I want my life to be? And I kind of have ideas, but now I have to work toward them to build them. And so I'll be doing that. And then, the other catch is having a worship song and stuff, getting your old hymnals out and stuff, and trying to worship. That usually puts me in a better mood because I'm trying to do something positive. I'm trying to get that what do they say? I hate the liberal style, the positive vibes. I'm trying to put the positive vibes out there in worship, and hopefully good things will happen in this life or the next. And then, if I'm feeling too negative, just try to tell someone something positive. Like I'm trying with you guys, right? We're going to be positive. We're going to make it. But that's kind of where I can teach, talk about having that positive mindset. Is, again, I'm not going to tell you, having the dedication, commitment, consistency to build your goals, you're going to get there. Maybe one day I will, right? And I can look back on this video and go, I couldn't give a lot today, but hopefully in a short time, I can give a lot more. But we'll see how that goes. There's no way to know because we're not there yet. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I know a lot of times I'll watch some doomer videos, so I'm not feeling quite so alone. And maybe that's the best you're going to get out of this video, as opposed to just trying to keep a positive mindset. But this one is more about one day I hope to look back on and go, yep, if he only knew that he was on the right track and he's making goals and stuff. That's kind of what I hope this video is and stuff. And so that's what I would suggest doing, having a positive mindset to the best of your ability. Not so far up here as to kill your expectations, because you may not make it up here. But if you can just raise it a little bit, just a little bit, and shoot for those goals. I do believe if you shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. I do believe that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, because some of the goals that I have in my mind, I have just started, and I'm a baby and a beginner. And so we'll talk about those more in another video. But until then, you have a good one. This is Narrative Nomad. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.